Titanfall 2 is a really good game. Titanfall 2 is the advanced movement shooter perfected. You'll be slide gliding, wall running, double jumping, all so beautifully, all so rhythmically, all so... Multiply that sexy shooter action with the ability to pilot a mech, aka Titan, and oh Dio! TF2's gameplay gets the bang Reshi seal of approval. I fucking love my mechs, okay? Give me Gundam, give me Megazord, give me Titanfall. You can tell Respawn Entertainment had fun with this. They gave you the ability to force catch rockets and rocket barrage mofos from the sky. What more could you ask for? Titanfall 2's campaign is single player FPS excellence. Call of Duty campaigns constantly throw you from set piece to set piece each level just to stop you from realizing how paper thin each micro mechanic really is. But Titanfall 2's campaign, it does the opposite. Each individual level fleshes out and expands aspects of Titanfall 2's sandbox. This continually ramps up what seems possible with the TF2 Advanced Movement Suite. It's Portal 2-esque in its level design, and that's a hell of a compliment. TF2's campaign design is progressively expansive as opposed to restrictive. When it comes to the story, well, the plot is trash. I played TF2's campaign a couple times now, and I still don't really know / care what the hell it's all about. But the emotions, well damn, by the time the game is over, it will hit you with the feels. If you don't fall in love with your Titan by the end of the campaign, shout out to my boy BT7274, then maybe you're the real robot. Titanfall 2's multiplayer is also very solid. I won't lie and say it's my favorite thing in the world, but I can genuinely see the appeal. TF2 ain't the most complex game with the deepest, most intricate lore. What it is just a damn well-made game. It's a pure gaming experience made by people who understand the beauty of game design. This is what AAA gaming should be. No fluff, just fun. I've spent the entire video up till now gushing about Titanfall 2, but this video isn't about Titanfall 2's greatness. It is instead about how Titanfall 2 has become a tragic black hole that seems to turn everything it touches into a miserable decay. To truly chronicle the tragedy of Titanfall 2, we must go back to 2002. We must go back to the release of Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Allied Assault was the third game in the, up till that point, only somewhat successful Medal of Honor series. Allied Assault didn't exactly have earth-shatteringly high expectations, so it surprised the gaming world by being a universally acclaimed World War II shooter. It was wildly critically and commercially successful, a bona fide FPS juggernaut. Allied Assault was developed by 2015 Inc., an independent gaming studio, and it was published by EA. The game's two lead designers were Vince Zampella and Jason West. In the words of Vince Zampella, after Allied Assault's success, EA wanted to make its sequel in-house, and so tried to strong-arm the Allied Assault team into officially becoming a part of EA. In response, Zampella and West broke away and founded Infinity Ward. They were then joined by every single member of Allied Assault's original development team. With the help of Activision, Infinity Ward went on to make Call of Duty, which was, according to Vince Zampella, a bit of an FU to EA.
Fuck the EA shit!
Activision later fully purchased Infinity Ward, who in turn carried on making Call of Duties alongside another Activision studio, Treyarch. Call of Duty maintained a relative level of success till Zampella, West and the other Infinity Ward Donnies released Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare in 2007. COD 4 was a monumentally successful and innovative FPS that elevated Infinity Ward into being a certified game developing titan. After Treyarch followed COD 4 up with Call of Duty World at War in 2008, Infinity Ward released the hotly anticipated, and I mean hotly, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. MW2 was a genuine media juggernaut that was probably the first real game to well and truly blast itself to the absolute forefront of the mainstream consciousness. This is when the story begins to take another twist. You see, in 2008, Vince Zampella and Jason West's contracts with Activision were expiring. Since they were in significant positions of power, thanks to the wild success of COD 4, they managed to renegotiate contracts that promised them significant bonuses as well as complete creative control over Call of Duty. This was pretty unprecedented stuff. The big caveat came in the last clause of their contract, however, which stated that were the pair to ever be fired, that creative control would cede entirely to Activision. Zampella and West alleged that immediately after the signing of this contract, Activision tried to create a pretext that would lead to the firing of the two of them. There is in fact email evidence to corroborate this claim, with Activision's plan even reportedly being known amongst its top execs as Project Icebreaker. Activision also tried to lure Infinity Ward employees away from Zampella and West's influence by tempting them with stock grants. In 2009, leading up to the release of MW2, Zampella and West in turn tried to wrest control away from Activision. They hired an agent, Seamus Blackley, to help them try and push Activision into letting them make Infinity Ward an independent studio. Their main bargaining tool was their creative control provision that supposedly gave them the power to block any future Call of Duty titles from being made. There's a lot of corporate espionage and he said, she said to this story, but the fact stands that in March 2010, right before Zampella and West were owed bonuses totaling up to around $36 million dingoes, Activision fired the pair, citing misconduct. And guess what? They said they weren't gonna pay the bonuses either. Lawsuits were filed, settlements were reached, and around a month after that firing, with the help of EA of all companies, Vince Zampella and Jason West founded Respawn Entertainment and began working on Titanfall. Once again, most of that same original Allied Assault team left Infinity Ward to join Zampella and West at Respawn Entertainment. Talk about squad loyalty. Titanfall 1 was released on March 11, 2014 to lukewarm success. They immediately began work on its sequel. Fast forward 2 years and bang, it's October 2016 and here comes Titanfall 2, baby. This would surely be the Titanfall to explode the series' popularity, a la COD 4. This would be the game that would cement Respawn Entertainment as a premier independent AAA game developer. This was the chosen one. We've already talked about TF2's amazing qualities, and of course it came out and slam dunked its way to some good old critical acclaim. TF2 was a critical hit, but unfortunately it was a financial failure, a flop.
Bruh.
Sandwiched between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's releases, its sales figures didn't even breathe the same air as the sales figures of those two FPS stalwarts. Titanfall 2 might have consistently had a strong community and dedicated fanbase, but it never broke into the mainstream. There's no way around it. Titanfall 2 was a failure. And on the 1st of December 2017, on the back of TF2's lack of success, EA fully purchased Respawn Entertainment. I'm not here to comment on whether or not being independent is the greatest thing in the world and is always better than being a full-time employee of a big corporation. What I will say is, based upon their own actions and words, the Respawn Entertainment team has consistently shown a desire for creative control and independence. I'm not saying they dislike money, but I am saying that at the end of the day, they seem to be against corporate control and seem to value innovative ideas and creative freedom over pandering to market trends. The Respawn team seem to have always wanted to be able to create AAA games independently with the freedom to do what they want with their own ideas. Titanfall 2 should have been the game that, after multiple attempts at establishing autonomy, finally set them free, but it instead became the nail in their corporate coffin. Considering the fact that the Respawn Entertainment journey literally started thanks to a desire to get the hell away from EA, they sadly have become exactly what they sought to destroy. Unfortunately, the tragedy doesn't end here. Fast forward to February 2019, Respawn Entertainment surprise releases Apex Legends, a free-to-play battle royale FPS. It instantly garners major league levels of attention. Apex Legends is a Titanfall game, in both its in-game universe and in its gameplay. Why is it called Apex and not Titanfall? Well, you could argue that the lack of Titans would be the reason why, and honestly you would have a point. But the real reason is marketing. If a game series is popular, publishers will slap its name on anything, okay? Titanfall is a flop. Apex is something sexy, new, and exciting. Since its release, Apex Legends has made Respawn and EA billions of dollars year on year. Since its release, everything named Apex has garnered every ounce of Respawn's attention, while everything named Titanfall, well shit. Respawn has acted like it doesn't even exist. Welcome to Marketing 101, boys and girls. Thanks to Apex Legends, Titanfall was left unguarded and vulnerable to attack. Beginning in 2019, Titanfall 1 began facing waves of DDoS attacks, each wave leaving the game essentially unplayable. It wasn't long before those attacks spread to Titanfall 2. In 2021, right when TF2 finally began resurging in prominence, right when TF2 was finally being recognized as the gem that it is, the hacker invaded. First, they struck Titanfall 2 streamers, crippling their games midstream and then mocking them in chat as if they were leaving a bizarro calling card. Then, these attacks spread to the entire player base. This hacker's name was jeanue. I'm not exactly hacker literate, but from what I can gather, both Titanfall games are built upon a series of code that is extremely easy to rip apart and mess with. Without the oversight of Respawn, the Titanfall game engines were ripe for the ravaging. Experientially, one would enter a match of TF2, play for a few seconds, before then being completely frozen and eventually booted. With Titanfall 2's multiplayer being completely broken, the community that had stuck with this game for so long, that had maintained belief in a game that was a so-called flop, that community was devastated. Respawn did nothing, apart from sending out the occasional empty tweet. In fact, there was only allegedly 1 or 2 people working on the Titanfall 2 situation. The rest were working on Apex Legends. From the ashes of defeat, heroes from the Titanfall community arose. Groups formed to try and stop jeanue. SaveTitanfall.com and Remnant Fleet were at the vanguard in the war against the hacker extraordinaire. And one member of Remnant Fleet in particular became heralded as the greatest hero of them all, P0358. He was someone who never backed down and worked tirelessly to stop jeanue. Memes were created in his honor, and his manifesto, How to Fix Titanfall, was venerated as a pseudo-holy scripture in the Titanfall community. Months went by, the war waged, and P0358 had even directly conversed with jeanue in his attempts to stop him. According to P0358, jeanue was a Titanfall player who tried to go pro but just was not good enough. Outraged by his own inability to get good, jeanue began experimenting with aimbot hacks. As time went on, aimbot hacks could no longer satiate jeanue's rage. He had spiraled deeper into the hacking rabbit hole. If he couldn't get good, then no one could. Jeanue then became obsessed with the complete destruction of Titanfall. First, he destroyed Titanfall 1, almost as a test run, and then, inevitably, he destroyed Titanfall 2. On the 4th of July 2021, the Titanfall world changed once again. Apex Legends was hacked. No Apex player could play the game. Instead, they would see the message SaveTitanfall.com on their screens. Immediately, SaveTitanfall.com distanced themselves from the hack. No, this wasn't them, they said, but they were happy that people were learning about the Titanfall situation. The Titanfall community concluded that this must have been a false flag hack perpetrated by jeanue. He must have wanted to pit the Titanfall community and the Apex community against each other. Ha! But he failed. Both SaveTitanfall.com and Remnant Fleet only grew in support as a result of the Apex hack. Not this time, jeanue. Days passed, and then, out of nowhere, members of SaveTitanfall.com released a PDF that would change the Titanfall world. They released Operation Red Tape. Red Tape revealed that jeanue was none other than P0358 himself. Members of Remnant Fleet, Dogecore, and Mr. Steak had in fact carried out the July 4th Apex hack. The whole war against jeanue was a complete charade, a masquerade of lies. What Remnant Fleet wanted was control. They broke Titanfall and made this whole song and dance about trying to save it so that Respawn would give them the reins over Titanfall. What they really wanted was to revive Titanfall Online, a cancelled Asia-only Titanfall online multiplayer project. They wanted to become the admins of the new Titanfall Online and mod it however they deemed fit. Remnant Fleet wanted to rebuild a new Titanfall world in their image. The Titanfall community was stunned. How could Remnant Fleet do this? How could P0358 betray us like this? Are there no heroes in this world? Days passed. The Titanfall community took up pitchforks. They were ready to burn their former heroes at the stake. And then, from the shadows of internet hatred, Remnant Fleet released a PDF that would change the Titanfall world once again. They released Cutting Through the Red Tape, which exonerated them from many of the accusations that SaveTitanfall.com had fired at them. It became clear that Dogecore and Mr. Stake had indeed carried out the July 4th Apex hack, but any notions of a Titanfall Online master plan, well, they were absurd. After further sleuthing, shout out to Upper Echelon Gamers, it also became clear that one of the authors of Operation Red Tape, an admin of SaveTitanfall.com, Wanty, had in fact been in contact with Dogecore and Mr. Stake and had asked for them to include SaveTitanfall.com in the hack. Was Operation Red Tape in fact an elaborate scheme set up by SaveTitanfall.com to take Remnant Fleet's place as the true heroes of Titanfall 2? Wanty's evident manipulation and backstabbing could only mean one thing. Surely he was in fact jeanue, the hacker. Nah. This whole multi-layered global conspiracy scenario seems a little far-fetched to me. Listen you guys, I am a very intelligent individual. I can understand 70% of the jokes in Rick and Morty, okay? I don't think that any member of SaveTitanfall.com or Remnant Fleet are jeanue. I think they probably all just want to see Titanfall fixed. I think all this backstabbing and betrayal and Illuminati BS is all a result of a community being completely abandoned and losing all hope. Whoever jeanue is, they've won. Titanfall 2's multiplayer from personal experience has been completely busted for about a year now. Titanfall 1 is being straight up just pulled from stores. Respawn and EA have completely and utterly abandoned that game and so have said, "Fuck it! We're just gonna not sell it anymore." Not only did Titanfall not get the attention it deserved, the small, dedicated community that have stuck with this game can't even play it anymore and haven't been able to play it for years. The advanced movement shooter era is in general seen as an FPS dark age. All the big boy shooter franchises saw that Titanfall was genuinely innovating the shooter genre in an interesting way, and so they haphazardly stuffed Titanfall's innovative mechanics into their own games without really thinking about how advanced movement would actually work within their pre-established gameplay loops. As such, advanced movement shooters unfairly got a bad rep because no one actually played Titanfall, aka the only shooter to actually do advanced movement right. Listen, AAA gaming sucks right now, I agree, but equally, when a great AAA game came along in the form of Titanfall 2, we were all too busy bashing the admittedly ass advanced movement Call of Duties and Halo 5. Titanfall 2 is one of the most influential games that no one actually played. Titanfall 3 probably will come out eventually, but considering the fact that this will be the first full Titanfall release with the IP fully owned by EA, I actually don't have very high hopes for it. I've just got a gut feeling that it's going to be full of some type of nonsense. Titanfall 2 is a really good game that was failed by everyone around it. EA failed, Respawn Entertainment failed, the Titanfall community failed, and we, the Gamer Republic, failed. It's so sad to me that people can't even just enjoy the damn game's multiplayer anymore. If you're on PC, members of the community did recently launch a TF2 multiplayer mod called Northstar that lets you play on custom servers and bypass the DDoS hacks. Consider that some light at the end of the tunnel. Some members of Respawn did also break away to form a new studio, Gravity Well Games, so hopefully they will finally fulfill the Allied Assault prophecy. All I have to say at this point is, Titanfall 2, we're sorry.